Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to this joint webinar between REsimpli and Leadzolo. My name is Sinead Jordan, and I am the affiliate manager here at REsimpli, joined by these three wickedly smart guys. I'm going to go ahead and get everybody introduced so that we can go ahead and kick things off right away. So first, we've got the master of virtual flipping, Sharad Mehta. He has been an active real estate investor in Lake County, Indiana for several years without barely ever setting foot in Lake County, Indiana. He's also the visionary behind the best CRM in real estate investing, REsimpli. A couple other fun facts. He's a hardcore vegan and quite the calm presence among all of us. And then we also have Cody Morris. Cody actually owned a gym at 20 years old and has built several hundred virtual sales teams and is now the COO of one of the best PPL systems in real estate investing, Leadzolo. And then we've got my man, Strat Daddy, Stratton Brown. Strat made his first million by the age of 25, built a multi-million real estate portfolio by the time he was 30. And if that's not enough, he's also scaled two businesses to seven figures. So between these three great minds, we are pleased to put on an awesome presentation for you today so you can see how these two awesome pieces of software work together to help you as a real estate investor close more deals. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Cody and let's get going.
All right, gang. Thanks for the introduction, Shanae. And Sharad, you're not the only vegan in the Zoom. I
Oh,
told you
wow.
that.
Are
I
you
told you that when you
vegan
were
too?
at Tampa. Yeah, I've been vegan for like 8 years. So
That's
I'm
longer
not
than
one
you,
of those
Rod.
vegans, though. I'm not one of the. I'm just kidding. I'm actually going to show y'all a quick insight into what the platform looks like. For y'all who are with us, drop us in chat. Let us know, like, hey, are you using Leadzolo and REsimpli? What's your experience been so far, right? Like, for me, don't hold anything back, right? So let me know if you're using our platforms. Let us know in the chat. We are going to do live leads. Appreciate you, Stratton, for being here. We'll get some leads pumping here in a little bit. And yeah, I'm going to show you a little bit more about Leadzolo. Sharad and I have some incentives for you all. So if everyone kind of sticks with us to the end, we're going to have some incentives for you guys to sign up for some ways to get some free lead credits on Leadzolo, as well as some fun incentives that I won't spoil for REsimpli. So without further ado, I'm going to show y'all what Leadzolo looks like, some of the functionality that we think is really cool. If you're not familiar with Leadzolo, this is what it looks like. This is in dark mode. I think if you use light mode. So what you'll notice here is that you have a dashboard. You have the ability to check out your leads whenever you purchase them. And there's really two ways that you can receive leads through Leadzolo. We'll be demonstrating Marketplace probably most just because it's instantaneous. But you can buy leads on a reverse auction marketplace. You can select where you want to buy the leads and what type of lead you want to buy. At Leadzolo, there's a number of lead offerings, there's a number of lead types. They're all filtered a number of different ways, motivation, time frame, property type, and stuff like that, some other factors. And you can kind of see more about those lead types on the marketplace if you hover over them. You'll see where the lead's located, the type of lead, when it came in a couple minutes ago, and the price it's currently at, as well as the price that it will tick down to. It is a reverse auction. So leads may start at $150 and get all the way down to $35. But as we'll showcase today, speed to lead is important. So that's really what we're going to be emphasizing today. And so if you want to make sure that you can contact your leads within seconds, like Sharad and Stratton are going to show us today, well, you want to be on the priority bid system. You want to make sure that you can tell us and all of our media buying team, hey, I want leads in this county or state. I want leads of this type. Again, all the leads have a description. As I click through here and I can take a look at different lead types, you'll see this description populate here on the right-hand side. And then you can select if you want those leads at the county, state, and some leads at the nationwide level. And those all come at different prices. So county leads, which are of course more targeted, are a little bit more expensive. Everyone has a bid minimum. And it is a priority bid system, but we don't want that to scare you because it's not always just the highest bidder wins here, because we're really set up and optimized for lead volume, right? I want more bidders in an area because that's going to allow us more predictable lead volume and lead flow. And it'll really allow you more predictable lead volume and lead flow as well. Because we do try to do things really differently here at Leadzolo. I'm not just interested in who's willing to pay, $350 in Orange County, California is the only person that's going to get a lead. And so we have different bid minimums for different lead types and scopes.
It doesn't seem like the chat option. I'm not sure what's going on with the chat option, but for those of you who are joining, there should be a Q&A option at the bottom. So instead of going to the chat, utilize that Q&A in the interim for questions.
Thank you, Shanae. Yep. All good. We're going to roll with it. Stratton, I think you were asking something about exclusivity or.
Are you guys 100% exclusive? Like,
Yeah, we're 100%. Yep.
If I want to go Denver, do you guys set like a cap of people who will go into Denver? Or it's more people we can get in there? You guys are just so good at generating leads, we can get you leads.
Yeah, so one thing at a time. We are 100% exclusive. We do not resell any of our Leadzolo leads. Now, obviously, I can't control what someone does when they get other ads, et cetera, and fill out multiple forms, but we do not resell leads. So when you buy a lead at Leadzolo, we're not going to resell it in 48 hours or 72 hours or any amount of time, right? So you're going to get the lead and it's going to be yours. And we also have a duplicate checker so that we're not selling duplicate leads. So if someone generates a lead today and then they generate another lead for one of our forms tomorrow, we're not going to sell that lead. That lead's actually going to be rejected. There is a time frame on that. It's 60 days currently. And we're always taking feedback, et cetera, et cetera. And then if any weirdness happens where someone puts their information in differently, et cetera, we'll credit that, right? We'll just allow a return for that. So great question, Stratton. I see some other questions following. And Stratton, did you have any other questions? Anything else?
Let me go through the chat. Someone started using it 3 days ago, already has 4 leads that they're working. That's awesome.
Nice, Gus. Nice. That's
I
awesome.
thought it was an auction market. So there's the bid system and then there's the marketplace.
Yeah. So Dan V, I appreciate you. I think Dan's our guy over there in Wisconsin. So I appreciate you, Dan. I know you've been rocking with us for a while, and you guys, you and Drew chat every now and then. But yeah, I mean, you have a reverse auction marketplace here on the marketplace. And the reason why leads come over here is because we didn't have a buyer at that time in that place, right? So someone else didn't have a bid in Cheatham County, Tennessee for MLS listed leads, right? Well, that's not that surprising. But you will see some pretty cool areas in here. So if I go in here and I filter based off of lead type, so let's say I don't want to look at any MLS listed leads and I just want to look at our enriched web form leads. These are going to be the leads that if anyone who's been on Leadzolo for a while, you guys have all come to know and love. These are going to be inbound off market, residential off market leads, right? So you see a few counties here. Maybe these aren't your favorite areas. Maybe they're just outside one of your favorite areas, like San Jacinto County. I think that's like east of Houston or something like that, right? So maybe you'll see counties you're like, I haven't bought any leads there before. That's not too far outside of my area. Bexar County, which is San Antonio, just came in 5 hours ago. So you can come and scoop this up on a deal. You would have had to pay $200 or more for this lead. It is 5 hours old, which is of course why we're selling it for $125. So that's kind of how the marketplace works. But then the priority bid system, how that works is it's a distribution system, right? So there's distribution logic. And yes, if someone has funds in their wallet and they have a higher bid than you, they're going to get the next lead, but they might have a lead cap on a daily basis. They might have a weekly account budget, or they just might run out of money or pause their account. A lot of people do that. And so at that point, you could be underbid someone else. They could be outbidding you and you could still get leads. So
hey, Cody, I have a question. This is what I've heard from some other investors, that the kind of similar to what you were mentioning, that you could keep a lower bid amount.
Yeah.
Generally people would run out of their budget, in the first half of the month, and then the second half of the month they can get leads a little bit lower bid. Is that what you've noticed? Is that a good,
we notice that a lot. So you can go in here and you can set bidding limits. So like, let's say I'm going to go on vacation, or it's the weekend, or it's Easter like it was last week. And you're like, okay, I have like 50 bids because I'm a baller like Stratton and I'm buying leads all over the place. And, we do business in multiple markets. And you're like, I don't want to pause all those accounts individually. So let me just go in here and pause my whole account. And then people will also set with us budgets on the weekly basis. So we do a weekly budget reset. So every week, it's like Sunday night, those budgets will reset, right? So if someone has $1,000 a week, like I have here, they're gonna, especially if I'm in like Harris County or, you know, Dallas, Fort Worth, Tarrant County, Maricopa County, right? Like you look at some of these high volume markets, like a lot of you are probably in, they're going to run through that budget pretty quickly. If I'm buying leads at $100, $200, $300 a piece, I'm going to hit that budget. And so towards the end of the week, Sherrod, we'll see there's an opportunity in marketplace for you
Got it.
guys. And then there's also an opportunity for anyone who's at the bid minimum, who maybe has been outbid by some of these other people who are willing to pay that amount. And so that will happen. And then, yes, at the end of the month, and that's something that I don't necessarily have as much visibility on, Sherrod, but that will happen as well.
We've got some other questions. We've got a couple people,
Yeah.
Cody, asking how y'all source the leads.
Of course, yeah. Thank you, Randy, and anybody else. So we're going to use a myriad of sources. So if you guys want the full list, in the little bottom left-hand corner, there's a little chat bubble. If you ever get stuck with anything, like you can actually reach out to our support and we'll let you guys know when changes happen on the platform. As you could see, a couple of those messages were. You can search, you can use this as a search and support functionality. But if you go in here to leads, this actually has a whole list of all the wide variety of advertising mediums that we may be using. So you're going to see stuff like digital marketing. You're going to even see stuff like TV and radio and print and direct mail, et cetera. You'll see a number of different methods and tactics we'll use. You know, this company, Leadzolo, was founded from media buyers, right? So our co-founders are media buyers. So we're going to use a lot of digital media to generate our leads. But we might use a myriad of different sources. We're always testing new sources, taking feedback from you guys. I was actually just talking to a couple of people this morning, one of whom is hanging out with us here in the chat, and always looking for ways to optimize lead quality. That's kind of the answer, right? Is like a myriad of different sources. It might be it might be a number of different ways that we're methodologies that we're using to generate leads, but trying to always stay on the bleeding edge of innovation there, and also trying to stay up with quality, right? If we ever get any quality concerns when we make changes to advertising strategies, we take that very seriously, and we'll change those strategies pretty immediately. So Gus asks if there's a way to set up notification for Spanish speaking leads on Marketplace. So Gus, what we don't necessarily do is we don't necessarily communicate, hey, there are these types of leads are in this area. Gus, the best thing to do is going to be come in here to the Marketplace and segment based on Spanish speaking. And then you'll see right now there's 5 leads there. So you got Harris County, Texas ×3. That's awesome. That's a great market. So you have some Texas leads, right? You're going to get those kind of common markets, right? You're going to get Texas, California, Florida, Arizona. Those are going to be your most common markets. We would love more activity on the Spanish-speaking lead types. That's a big passion project for us. We know that there's an opportunity there to serve that market. And for those of you guys who are bilingual or habla español, go ahead and get after it. So that's the best way that I would direct you to do that, Gus.
Gus, I'd tell you to lean into it and just get all of them. Because like we get a bunch of Spanish speakers, and Gus is in California using Modesto.
Oh, nice.
It is the way to go, bro, because no one else is going to be able to close those. If you can just sit in the marketplace and the country, you'll get a bunch of Florida, Texas, and California for the best markets. I think it's the way to do it. Yeah,
I just was talking to a guy in Broward County, and he's like, these Spanish leads are great. Can we please get more? And I'm like, I need more bidders. Like, I want to generate more leads. I just need more bidders. Stop screen sharing.
It's a good question. Do you always know if you're the high bidder?
So you'll know when you go here to your bids, you'll get there's a notification that you can set, and you can set up text and email notifications. There's a bunch of different notifications type. I have them all turned off. So that way I don't spam our Twilio account. So you can turn those on if you're outbid or someone matches your bid, et cetera, or if you ever run out of funds, you can turn those on via text or email. But then the way to know if you're outbid or matched, you'll see that here in your bids, right? So if I have a bid here for 350, I'm matched with the top bid. Obviously I have that paused. You'll be able to always tell if you're matched, if you're outbid, if you're underbid. You can see here my position is out right now. If I unpause this, it'll say that I'm tied, right? So this bid's now active. I'm tied at 350. And if I were to outbid at 400, it would say that I'm top, right? So you'll have that bid position status. You'll have your bid status itself, and then obviously you have your account status, which I'm paused right now.
Cody, so Alec, what's up, Alec? Good to see you here. How are you guys different and or better than property leads?
We really want to offer a number of different lead types, something to kind of fit everybody's buy box or budget, Alex. So the way that we really focus on being different is having options for you guys. So when I come in here and I select what type of lead I want, I can get residential off market, I can get listed, I can get commercial, I can get land leads, I can get mobile home leads, Spanish speaking leads, cold call generated leads. The list goes on, right? We've recently highlighted this segment where we are segmenting based on high motivation. So people who are selling ASAP, selling for certain reasons, medium motivation, people who are selling within 6 months, et cetera, multifamily condo, et cetera. And then where's our no rush? So residential off market no rush is also a new lead type. We've carved out all of the in no rush, right? These were previously like 6+ months. So really, Alec, the way that we want to be different is we want to have a really easy to use portal here that I'm showing you. And we want to just provide you guys options. So that way, whether you're an investor just starting out and you don't have a big marketing budget, or you're a baller, you've been doing this for years like Stratton has, and you know exactly what you want, where you want it, and obviously you're willing to pay, so that way you can get a return on your investment. So that's really how we want to be different. We want to make this easy and simple for you guys, and we also want to be as transparent as possible. So property leads is great. Got nothing bad to say about property leads and Andy and the guys over there. But yeah, this is just the game that we're playing over here at Leadzolo. So
I love it.
Alec, yeah, great stuff, guys. Yeah, keep it engaging. So Alec has another. Actually, I don't know if we went over a question, Lorenzo. Does this do the leads get verified to make sure that the information is correct and then they're serious on selling?
that's a really good one. So one of our lead types is this enriched web form lead type. And this is our kind of sandbox to play in this category, Lorenzo. We currently don't do two-step verification. I'll be totally honest with you guys. I know that a bunch of people really want that. What we found is that it didn't actually make a big difference for us. It's not something that we're currently doing. What we are doing with our enriched web form, so they come in, we enrich these leads with API data. Sharad knows the value of API data. He's going to show you guys in the REsimpli platform how valuable API data can be. And so we enrich this with API data. We also just rolled out skip tracing. We're actually in the process of skip tracing every one of these enriched web form leads that you purchase from Leadzolo will come pre-skip traced. So if they have a hit and they have multiple phone numbers and emails, those will be included in the lead whenever you receive the lead details. And then you guys remember that whole TCPA one-to-one consent freak out? Like everyone was like, oh no, what's going to happen? We decided to actually follow that through. And with these enriched web form leads, this isn't happening at this exact moment. This is a very new deployment that we're finally kind of rolling back out. We took our time with it and we did a few other things, in the beginning of this year. But you'll have dynamic one-to-one consent very soon with this enriched web form lead. So we don't do the two-step verification. I appreciate that. We're always looking for ways to block spam. So we have a spam filter that we're constantly updating. So people fill out the information incorrectly, invalid, spam, stuff like that. We're adding that to our spam filters, honestly, on a weekly basis. The more stuff that people can come up with to spam leads with, we'll continue to add that stuff and block those things out. So that's what we're doing to block out any of the BS that comes through.
And then Cody, we have like skip tracing built in. Like it's great that you guys are doing. So we have that built in. So if a lead comes in with just the property address, you could just skip trace it, and then have their contact information. So as long as the property address is valid, then you can skip trace them. Yeah.
That's super cool.
It's great that you guys are doing that. So then you have even more data. So you can just ask for the property address and get their information. That's pretty cool. All right, Alec has a question, and I think a couple of other people have this question. Will you go over refund policies? You can do it now. You can do it at the end. I mean, this is something I'm sure you're familiar with it, like consistently. That's kind of a pain point a lot of people have.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, right here in the portal, you'll see, contact us support. Like I said, down here in the bubble, you can always contact support and ask questions. And there's full FAQs and articles around our returns and stuff like that. So yeah, lead return policies right here in the portal on the left-hand side. We do offer returns for a number of reasons. If it's not the right property type, if it's out of area, if a duplicate somehow got through our duplicate checker, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. If it is actually MLS listed and it shouldn't be, and you're buying an off-market deal, not the property owner, invalid contact information. We actually have lead nurture specialists on our team that will call leads. So if you guys submit a return, you're like, hey, I couldn't get a hold of this person, we will actually outreach and try to get a hold of them ourselves. And we want to be really reasonable when it comes to returns, right? So you put the information in, you submit it to our team, you have a 7 calendar days between when you receive the lead to submit that return, and then, you know, give us a couple of days at the most. Usually our team's pretty quick about this, but give us a couple of days at the most to process these. We're pretty reasonable about returns. Again, we want to build trust with you guys. We want to do what's right, and that's how we handle lead returns. And so, yeah, the policy's all there. You guys can go read through it if you want. It's right there in the portal. We want to just be understanding and reasonable, right? We want to be fair. Ultimately, not getting in contact with a lead is kind of a gray area. I'll address that one, right? An unresponsive lead. We know that some PPL companies and some platforms do issue returns for unresponsiveness. Again, it's kind of a gray area, right? Does this lead appear quality and valid on paper? And have we just not, you know, gotten in contact with them? And so obviously we want to be favorable to you guys so that way we can have a profitable relationship together. So that's kind of our stance on returns. We obviously have the policy. Appreciate that, Joe. No complaints so far. And if you have those complaints or concerns, or you're just like, hey, I don't really think this should be fair, I think you guys should allow those returns, please bring those to our support team, and our client success manager, Katie, will field those, and we'll look at it in our leadership meetings. And yeah, we want to be fair. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then with the iMessage integration that we have coming out next month to REsimpli, I think that should definitely help with your outreach to these leads. You can text them. It's going to go out as an iMessage text to them. So that should definitely help on the conversion and response side of it.
So awesome. More of the reason why we're doing this, you guys, showing you the power of when you combine Leadzolo with REsimpli. All the functionality that Sharad and the team are coming out with is just really, really interesting, and it's going to help everybody's conversion. So
let's keep the flow going and show how you can use Leadzolo in REsimpli.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll show you where that's located really quickly, and then I'm going to pass it over to you, Sharad. So when you get signed up with your Leadzolo account, all you need to do is you go into notifications. Again, in our help center, we have a walkthrough video on this, and obviously Sharad and support team over there at REsimpli can help you guys out. Just search webhook or look up that article, et cetera, but it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, you go in to select your webhook, and obviously you got to go grab that URL from Zapier or from the platform that you're using directly. And I'll let Sharad speak to this a little bit more on the technical side, but it's pretty straightforward. We just have a place for it. All you have to do is plop that in there, and then all of those fields will send through in a webhook. And we're constantly improving and adding actually some things to our webhook delivery this week, because we want to continue to deliver as much information as possible over to REsimpli, so that way you guys can manage all of your leads accordingly.
We're also working on an open API, so we can do direct integration, so they don't have to use like Zapier or any webhook in that case. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm excited about that. Cool. All right. I'm going to share my screen. So I'm just quickly going to go over kind of the best way to the leads that you have coming in from Leadzolo, how to have the highest conversion possible. And the number one most important thing is speed to lead with these. So anyone that's on this call will get speed to lead for free. It's an enterprise only feature, but anyone on this call will get access to that free. We'll go over that at the end. All right. So the idea would be, go right here. Right. So I have this Leadzolo account set up. All right. So what I would want to do right here is click on speed to lead, and then you can enable it for if a campaign is created from your REsimpli website, if a campaign is created from like Zapier integration, Carrot integration, or if a lead is created via web form, you can have a speed to lead be triggered out, and then you can choose on your team who gets the call. So the way it works is you can choose, okay, so if anytime a lead is created from an integration, let's say in this case, it would be a Zapier integration, and so lead speed to lead or Leadzolo integration that you have. So as soon as a lead is created, and we'll do a demo with Stratton's account right here. So as soon as the lead is created, someone goes and then Leadzolo pushes that lead over to your REsimpli account. You can choose who on your team you want to get notified. So this would be you as the owner. You can have your acquisition person, lead manager, or anybody on your team you get notified. So what we will do is, so let's say instantly, as soon as someone submits a lead from Leadzolo, your team gets a text message. So it will say that the lead came from Leadzolo. We'll send you the name of the seller, and we'll send you the property address. So that happens instantly. And a second after that, you get a call on your cell phone or the number that you have in your profile. You get a call on that number, and it will be from the same number that you have as your phone number, campaign number. So you pick up that phone, everybody in your team gets that call. Whoever picks up, it will say, hey, this is REsimpli Speed to Lead. Do you want to speak with the seller? You press 1, it immediately calls the seller out, and it calls from the same number that they have on the campaign. So imagine from the time someone submits a lead, they're getting a call from you in 15 to 20 seconds. I mean, if you can do that, you're catching them at the time when they're the most motivated about selling their property, because that's when they filled out a form. And you're also preventing them going to some other platforms or their website from filling out that form. So if you guys are not using that, you're definitely 100% missing out on leads. So, and then when the call is made out to the seller, you are already on the call. So if no one on your team picks up the call, then we don't call the seller out. So just keep that in mind. So I just wanted to show you that's what the speed to lead feature is. And then we'll do a quick demo in Stratton's account just to show you kind of how it works. And then everyone will get access to this at the end of the webinar.
So Alec asked if this rings all lead managers at once or only rings the lead manager that's assigned to the lead if it's on round robin.
It depends on, that's a great question. So it depends on how you have your lead assignment set up. If you have lead assignment of first to claim, then it rings everyone. If you have manual assignment, then it rings everyone. But if you have round robin, then it will automatically ring only the person who is assigned to that specific lead.
And Joel, it is an add-on feature for enterprise.
It's not necessarily add-on, depending on how it's included in enterprise plan only. However, for anyone that's on this webinar, you will get that free of charge, regardless of what plan you're on. If you're on enterprise, you already get access to that. But if you're on basic or pro, you get access to that. So we'll go over that at the end of the webinar. So stay till the end. But I just wanted to show you, it is, if you're doing Leadzolo, pay per lead, definitely use that. It'll be well worth it to start using that.
Cody, do you want to talk real quick about how important it is to get to them within like the first 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And drop off.
Yeah, the drop off after 5 minutes and 30 minutes is insane. It drops right off a cliff. So if you're not using speed to lead, you have REsimpli, you need to be. And if you don't have anything like this and you're relying on yourself or your acquisition manager, you are missing deals. I can just go ahead and tell you.
100%.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I'll talk to people and they're like, hey, not really having an experience. And I'm like, cool, when do you get on the lead? And they're like, I don't know, a few hours. And I'm like, you're missing it, right? After a few hours, algorithms are so good. This is something we're always combating against as media buyers and lead generators. After a few hours, the same lead is getting tons of ads. They're getting tons of ads. They're not our ads. They're other people's ads because the algorithm is very good at what it does. So even though we do sell exclusive leads and we do really focus on that, and that's something that we emphasize, you still need to have a system in your business to get on top of a lead ASAP. Within seconds, within minutes, it's going to rapidly increase your conversions. That's why I love speed to lead as a feature. I think that's so cool what you guys have done, Sharad, and I know that you're even looking at new and more exciting.
Oh yeah, we're looking at some. So yeah, May we have some pretty cool update coming. It's going to be amazing. We'll post a little bit more about it tomorrow. But yeah, I've consistently heard from people that are using speed to lead that they've been able to close more deals. I mean, just think about it. Like something triggered these sellers to go to a website, fill out a form. Like something happened in that moment. If you can catch them within like 15, 20 seconds of them filling that form out, like how incredibly powerful that is. Like you're catching them when they're actually the most motivated. And I don't know what happens with sellers. 5 minutes later, they go into their all different problems that they have. It just, I can never understand. Like we get so many leads from direct mail. They call us, have a good conversation, then nowhere to be found. Yeah. So if you can catch them when they filled out a form, catch them when they have the highest motivation, like your conversion will be much, much higher. Cool. Bye, Stratton. So you're going to share your account and then just do like a test of speed to lead.
So we use Leadzolo as our main lead provider. They're amazing for us. So we do a lot through Marketplace, and then we have bids. For the Marketplace, though, we still have it set up with speed to lead with webhook. So no matter where we get a lead from them, it automatically comes in. So let's say,
Right, Stratton,
our audio's a little choppy still, man. You're like a couple people asking because they kind of joined late or they missed it, right? Like, is speed to lead included? And then Anthony Quetzada asked, how's it different than the regular notification that that he gets in his CRM right now?
So speed to lead right now is included in enterprise plan only, but anyone that's on this webinar, we'll share a link at the end. If you sign up from that link, the speed to lead will be included in every single account, like basic pro, every account. So we'll give access to you. How it is different is, so you get, as soon as the lead is created, if you don't have, let me quickly share my screen again. What happens is with the notification, you get notified right here that, hey, new lead created, you get an email. So that's separate. And we have text notification coming also, by the way, guys, so you can get a text message on your cell phone that, for all these notifications. But with what speed to lead does, it actually sends you a text message with leads information, name, property address, and the campaign the lead came from. So in this case, it would be Leadzolo. Then what happens after that? You get a call from us. It's an automated call. You get a call from us that you pick up. It gets to everyone on your team that you've selected here to receive the call. So they get a call, your team, entire team gets a call. You pick up. It will not immediately call the seller. It will confirm with you that this is REsimpli speed to lead. Do you want to be, and you'll already have a text message from us. Then you press 1, and then it will hang up everyone else on your team. And then it will call the lead immediately. So in addition to getting a notification, it's actually connecting you with the seller in 15, 20 seconds. When we were doing a test earlier, like it was happening within like 5 seconds. And then, depending on how quickly the other person picks up the call. And you do this by going into your phone numbers, and you'll see this column for speed to lead. You click on configure, and then you can set it up. If you have any question, you can reach us out at support@REsimpli, and then we can help you out with that.
Sweet. So with what we like to do, I like just doing marketplace for a lot of our leads.
So when I'm in here, we go over this when I do my lives. We want to look up the county and make sure we have a certain population criteria in marketplace, just so we know we can sell it. But let's go, Cody. What's like a hot market in one of these?
Dude, I saw a couple of Harris County. I would filter Texas, California, or Florida. Those are always going to be your highest volume markets on Leadzolo.
California gets tough. Sometimes they don't squeak through.
The bidding's so crazy on California, so most of the stuff gets scalped before it ever meets. Okay, we got some good Denton,
Harris County.
And then here, put another filter in for leads type, and then just do enriched web form, the one with the fire emoji, third down. Yeah.
There we go. All right, so we got Denton, Kaufman. I mean, getting $70 leads is crazy.
San Antonio, really Bear County, Bear County leads could be the move.
You think this Bexar right here?
Dude, I think one of those could be the move.
All right.
And so as Stratton's buying this lead, guys, some of y'all were asking, like, what information do we get, et cetera, et cetera. You guys are going to see how that goes through the system and shows up in REsimpli now that everything's hooked up. So,
all right. So right now, we'll just confirm and purchase. And then within a couple seconds, I should be getting a phone call on my phone. And then it comes in our drip campaigns. If you guys can see it, Leadzolo leads. It's calling me already.
Nice.
So we just bought it. Leadzolo leads does it. And then we have it coming in. And then you guys can hear it. We aren't going to call it right now. All right. So press 1 to connect with the lead. Let's just call them and see what's going on. So this is Graham.
Yeah, so when you pick up
your message for
it went to voicemail. Yeah.
So it goes straight to voicemail. We always triple dial, and I'll go over and I'll show you guys what the lead looks like. If you guys want to try and scalp it from me, you can, I guess. But
oh man,
this is what it looks like when it comes into the system. And then our drip campaigns are going to trigger automatically. I'd say it takes about a minute for it to go out, right, Sharad?
Yeah, so this shows that drip campaign is already set up.
Going, man, already going.
Yeah. Right. And so what we get is we just get Graham. I don't care about a ton of info. I really just need their name and phone number and the property address, because we don't want to prejudge our leads. And a lot of people will do that. The person went on the internet and said, sell my house fast. This guy's trying to sell something. Nice. Right. And so we have that. We'll refresh it. Our first text message goes out. And then we are always, and I'll just call them out of the app on my phone so it'll sound a little bit better. We always triple dial everyone, because Graham is getting a call from an unknown person. So Graham's probably not going to pick up on the first time. And then, so here's the app. The app on the phone, guys, is amazing. Like everything works. We can check all our KPIs. We can text sellers out of it. It is absolutely game changing. So let's give them another call.
Please leave your message for 2.
Yeah,
So it's
it looks like the phone switched off or something. Yeah.
phone switched off. That's fine. We'll try and give it one more, see if it goes through. If it doesn't, we have these drip campaigns that are built in REsimpli that'll go forever. We have people come back 9 months, 6 months, and a year after just getting text messages from us. So as far as like the refund with Leadzolo, you can skip trace it in REsimpli if you think the number's wrong. You should do that because it's free. Do that immediately if it's not getting connected. And you'll see right here if it's delivered or not. If it doesn't get delivered, that just means, hey, it might be a landline. And typically you can hear the old little dial tone. Or if it just going straight out to nothing, maybe we need to skip trace it in REsimpli and we'll do that. But we don't do that until I'd say 4 or 5 days in. And then it goes into a different campaign and we have someone who just calls all of our no contact leads all day, every day.
And someone had a question, how do you skip trace? Like you can skip trace by going to action. So we have an option to skip trace. Yeah, so you'll see an option for skip trace right here.
Right there.
Yeah.
So now you don't have to do that. We used to have to send it over, create a whole list. You just hit skip trace and you're good to go. And then you can get a whole nother data set on them. So let's just hit this little button.
Yeah,
Look,
so you got
now we got
nice.
more phone numbers. We already have our first text message going out. Hey, Graham, this is me from, oh, looks like we messed up the name, from Deseret Property Solutions. You've expressed interest online, blah, blah, blah. We'd love to get you an offer. And then when's a convenient time for you? And then we have an email going out to them because Leadzolo always gets us their emails and it makes it really, really nice too. We have people set appointments from our emails that go out. We have a Calendly link that goes up and they'll book on our Calendly to talk to us because all these people want to communicate in different ways. Some people will text us. Some people will get on the phone. Some people will email and just schedule a time that's convenient for them. Should we go to one? Should we try another lead?
I'm curious before we move on from this one. So you guys have this macro. I know that like it's you know Stratton here from Deseret Properties, but the San Antonio area. What are you guys pulling in here to use that as a macro to then change?
That is crazy.
That's so awesome. It looks so organic. What do you guys pull in here, Sharad?
So we pull when someone submits an information, we pull their first name, last name. So we have variables for first name, last name, property, street address, city, state, zip. So you can really, really personalize it.
So it's city. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like what Stratton said, it was like, hey, this person filled out a form online like 5 hours ago. You know, this lead's been sitting on Marketplace for a few hours, right? So it's 5 hours ago, they filled out a form. And you can look at all the reason for selling and stuff like that. We collect all that in the form that they fill out. But stuff like that helps you guys systematize. And like Stratton saying, the drip campaign, like you start stacking the deck in your favor, right? Like you got a good lead, someone just filled this out, you call them instantly, you've got text going out instantly, you've got really great drip campaigns you can build in REsimpli. Like you are really stacking the deck in your favor when you start to put all these things together. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then with the iMessage integration coming out next month,
that's going to be a game
take
changer.
It to the whole next level. Like,
that's
it
huge.
Doesn't have,
How many of you guys in a group chat with family or friends and you get that green bubble and you're like, who's the freaking weirdo?
Who is this guy who just wants to ruin the chat?
Who's ruining the group chat?
Today when she started,
I know, I'm like, oh God.
She was all Android. And it's funny, she would reach out to people, I kid you not, probably Stratton was one of those people she would reach out to. She would not get reply. I said, Shanae, we'll pay for an iPhone. She reached out to the same people, same message, and they started replying.
They start responding.
Yes.
Dean Rogers was one of them. Dean was he responded like immediately and he was like, you got an iPhone.
I don't know what it is. It just makes the other person, the person on the other side seems real. I don't know. I don't know what
That's hilarious.
I am now one of those bougie people that when I get green bubbles, I'm like, oh God, gross.
Hey, Stratton, there's clear your filters really quick. There's a lead from, I don't know where, Miami County, Ohio. Midwest is so interesting to me. It just came in 8 minutes ago. So it's right there, the second lead down.
Go.
Yeah, there you go too. So that just came in. Scoop that one up. 8 minutes ago. It's in Ohio. Ohio's a great area for wholesaling.
Yeah. And then really quick with the iMessage integration. So it will be basically, think of it like iMessage built in that. See, instantly start calling. Yeah. And there will be no more opt-out language. You won't need to do A to B 10 DLC.
Oh, let's go.
That's awesome.
Please wait while we connect the call to a second person.
You guys can talk. They can't hear you.
Okay. I was gonna. At what point, Sherrod, does? Oh,
Keep going. It went to voicemail.
At what
We don't
point
leave
Sher-
voicemails.
At what point, Sherrod, does the system start dialing, right? So it's like lead gets generated within seconds. Stratton's getting that call, and
Right.
when's the system actually dialing the lead? Is it when he's getting the call at the same time it dials him? It starts dialing the lead as well, so it can do the live.
No,
transfer?
it doesn't. It does. So someone has to pick up the phone
Okay.
and confirm they want to speak with the lead. It will
Yeah.
not. So let's say Stratton got that call. If he did not, let's say if he was busy
Nice.
in a meeting, he doesn't pick up. We don't
Yeah.
call the lead.
Okay. I
So
figured that was it.
It only calls the lead if someone from your team picks up.
Nice.
So let's say that call went out to Stratton and me at the
Yep.
same time. Stratton picks up, presses 1, it immediately disconnects me, hangs me up,
Great.
and then it'll call the seller. So every time you call the seller, someone will be on their line. So it's basically
Nice.
like you don't have to, instead of you manually calling, it just automating the process for you.
Okay, cool. That's smart. Cool. Bunch of y'all roasting Stratton for not doing voicemails. That's
Yeah.
Oh, who leaves voicemails?
fine.
They get,
Who checks
when the
voicemail?
lead comes into us, they will get 12 touch points in a day. They don't need my voicemail. They're going to know exactly who's calling them. And
All
we
the old
rotate
school
our phone
people are
numbers.
like, hey, you got to leave the voicemail. I do leave voicemail sometimes. I'll be honest.
I
Anthony
never.
says he leaves a voicemail. Stratton, what do you? Come on.
The only time we would ever leave a voicemail is if we want to like create a cliffhanger, right? That's when
Okay.
you really want to like leave the voicemail. And Eric Brewer is who I learned this from. He'll be like, hey, Shanae, this is Stratton. I was calling you because, and then
No
just hang,
way.
and then just
That's a
hang up.
good one.
That's funny.
Right? Because now we have a little bit of mystery and urgency, and then they're going to give you a call back.
That's funny.
But we don't really want to just like leave a voicemail. They're going to get so many different text messages from us, so
Yeah.
many emails. They get triple dialed every day. So within the first 20 minutes, they should get at least 9 different phone calls.
Mhm.
Right? So like we want to be very, very serious with these leads and just try and come after them. They don't need our voicemail. They're going to get our text messages and everything else.
Don't you call it like 7 days of hell or something, Stratton? I
Yeah,
heard.
in our section, it's just called 7 Days of Hell. Like it's a
Mm.
new lead for the first day, but then after that, it moves into our 7 Days of Hell section, and they just continue to get pounded. All right, let's see if we can get someone to pick up.
Let's keep going. Yeah.
Let's keep going. And guys, sometimes people won't pick up, and it's completely okay. It's 11 o'clock, which is the slowest part of the day for our company as a whole. The 11 to 3-ish gets to be pretty slow.
Yep.
Calhoun, Florida. What county is Calhoun, Cordy?
It's
Look
kind
at
of in the,
Stratton buying leads and he doesn't even know where they are.
well, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, to be honest. It's like
Then
in
we
that
don't do it.
it's
Usually
like
what I'm doing is I'll
west of
throw it into the
Tallahassee.
internet and I'll look, and I just want to look up Calhoun County population.
Yep.
And
It's-
that
yeah,
will
it's
tell
small.
us if it's big enough. All right. St.
Is there a minimum
John's.
population that you go after?
Ooh,
I
what
want
about
at least 100,000 people.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
what about Yuma?
133. It barely passes it. It's west of Tallahassee, Calhoun County does.
Yeah,
Or
someone saying it's got a lot of mobile homes.
Mobile
St.
homes.
Lucie, Florida? I think my dad used to live there.
St.
John's.
John's. Motivated residential MLS listed.
Yeah,
We
that
don't
one's
want those
listed.
ones
Yeah, you can
yet.
filter that out.
Let's just go to our enriched stuff.
Yep.
Calhoun, Cheatham, Tennessee. So all I do, guys, is I'll just go like this.
$42,000.
42,000.
Yeah, small.
So that's not quite big enough for us. Tennessee, Oklahoma, Iowa, New York, Florida.
And that's just so you can move it, right? Like you need population, you need inventory, so that way you can.
That's for
actually-
me. I can move it. We've moved stuff in certain small areas,
Yeah.
but we can't go after every single city in America because we can't get good at that.
Of course.
Is the one thing I
Yeah.
would say, because we think it's a deal, but then we call a buyer and a buyer says like, no, it's not a deal for this random reason where Sally died on that street 9 years ago. And it's just not working, bro. It's just not. I'm sorry.
Sure. It's a few hours old, but there's a Phoenix area lead. There's a Pinal County. I think Pinal is like the one that people don't like enough, or maybe that's
Nah,
Gila.
I'm from Arizona and it's Gila, by the way, Cody.
Oh,
so,
sorry.
Yeah,
Gila?
Pinal's kind of a shithole. So is
Okay.
Gila's worse. Gila's
Never mind.
Where's it at? Let's just give it
It's
a
in,
call.
like,
Gila
Phoenix
is in the
area.
middle of nowhere. It's
If
This
you
one?
just if you
Yeah.
search, scroll up to the top. Yeah, there you go. You found it. Yeah, you can use the search bar. You can search counties and stuff like that.
And when I'm on the lives, guys, typically what I'm doing, every one I'll just go through and I'll look it up. But again, bam, Leadzolo coming through. REsimpli is so fast on it.
Press 1.
So where it said press 1, that's where unless you press 1, it's not going to call the
Got it.
seller. So you have to press 1. So you know that you received this call from
Nice.
REsimpli. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, Rodney, you received. So we have dialer and number built in within REsimpli, so you don't need any other platform for any of this.
And then one thing that we actually do, guys, when we do buy off a marketplace, I will switch the phone number in our system to match the closest area possible.
Oh, you
And
can do that?
That's
Yeah.
another thing that we do.
I love that.
So if I go to make an outbound call and I have call lead, and I'll just go into our system and I'll share it with you guys. This will be another big game changer for you. And this leads right here. Her name's Kim. I want to make sure it's not open.
Eloy is actually not that bad. So this,
All I do right here, because we have all these different phone numbers, right? We have California, Florida, Dallas, Pennsylvania, Dallas, Texas, some different marketing campaigns. For someone in Arizona, I'd want to match it to our California number because that's like the closest possible area to it. And we do a lot of marketing in California. And so then we can
That's
give them a
next
call
level.
and our odds will go up significantly.
Oh, yeah.
Because no matter what anybody says, if you get a phone number from an area code you don't recognize, you're probably not picking it up, especially if it's coming from like Pennsylvania. So
Yeah, this is next level stuff. I was outbound calling some customers to get feedback. I call a guy in Denver. He picks up first ring.
Does the info pop up when you're getting a call from REsimpli, address, name? Yeah, if you get it forwarded to your app, then you get their whatever information we have available. Obviously, when it gets on your app, there's a little bit of limitation on how much we can show on your screen, but I think you get like name and also property address that it runs through your screen.
Because of health issue, I found it's best if you can provide me a window of your availability. So she just responded after our double.
Oh, wow.
nice.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah.
Hey, Kim, this is Stratton. You just reached out to us about this house out in Eloy. Were you still interested in selling it?
Yeah, but now that's why I didn't answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes our phone calls just don't even make it through. So we don't know if you're actually getting our call. When would be the best time for us to give you a call back?
Issues. I have a lot of issues with like calls right now. Yeah, so if you can text me like a couple windows type thing, and then I can text you to let you know what I call, but I'm gonna be calling you so you're still available.
Okay, do you think it'd be available in like the next 30 minutes?
No, I have a new appointment I'm trying to get ready for.
Oh, I see. So does around 2 o'clock work for you? Does that give you enough time to go to the doctor and then come back?
If you can't work with that, I understand. But this is what is gonna work for me.
Okay, no problem, ma'am. Our goal is to make this the easiest transaction you've ever had to do. And so what I'll do, I'll text you a couple times and hopefully we can talk to you first thing tomorrow.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. You have a wonderful day.
That was so good.
Strange situation, but
I was waiting for her to tell you to go screw yourself, Stratton.
Oh,
Because
bro.
after she
I mean, people get pissed off at the triple dial, but all you got to say is like, hey, sometimes our calls don't go through because sometimes they don't.
Yeah,
that was a good answer.
That's
right.
perfect.
And then we'll just pick them up and then we'll shoot her a text.
Yeah.
Right here. It's all I'll say is, hey, Kim. Right. And I'll reach out in the morning. You got to take out all my typos.
So you don't personally like stop the drip, you still keep them on a drip?
No, I don't want to stop the drip.
Okay.
When the new AI comes in, I will. And my psychology behind this, I just want them to think about this process with us until they get back on the phone with us. So they're going to keep getting our emails, keep getting our text messages. And then it's still like with our emails, it still establishes credibility. Right. Like they're still like getting an email. They're still getting a text message, blah, blah, blah. And we just let them know it's going to be automated. Just ignore them. And they're like, okay, I've never had anybody text stop when we tell them it's.
Interesting.
That's the whole reason we tell them it, but I don't want them to like lose it. And a lot of times they're probably not going to fucking pick up again. So we want to just leave them on it and we don't want it to reset the drip or anything else.
That's
And
awesome.
then they've already replied to your one text message that they got from the drip. So
Yeah. So she already right there.
yeah.
And then she's
Yeah,
already
nice.
responded. And then look, so and then Abby, the lead came in. Our other manager,
Abby
our
called.
acquisitions person was already calling her.
Dang.
One other update we have coming next month is, so if let's say Stratton, you're in the lead, someone else from your team is in the lead, it's going to show you someone else is actively on that lead. So this way, you kind of know, like your
Even
other
if they
person
just
will
have
know.
it up, even if they just
Even
have the
if
lead
they're
open.
just in the tab, it will just say, hey, someone else is active in this lead.
Nice. Similar to
Kind
how
of like if
Google,
you're kind of like on like Google Docs or
yeah,
Google
Yeah,
Excel,
exactly.
where you see
Exactly.
it.
it'll
Yeah.
see where you're
Exactly.
hovering. That's so cool, Sharad. You guys
Yeah.
are doing
So
awesome stuff over here. I love this.
yeah. Yeah, dude, we
And
have some pretty cool AI stuff coming. So kind of what Stratton showed you, a lot of this would be
yeah,
automated. Yeah.
that's
So I'm
really
super
cool.
pumped about that.
Really
Cool.
cool.
Thank you, Stratton. Yeah, thank you. That was good, man. Yeah, I think
And then
your
right
calm
there,
tone brought her
with our
down.
communication on these leads, all I'll do is I'll
Yeah.
tag Abby, the one who's working it. Hey, Abby, I gave her a call already. You don't need to keep calling.
Yeah.
Right. And then she gets that notification that'll pop up right here. And then we can just keep it moving.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Should we call one more lead?
Yeah, you got a Citrus, Florida. I just looked it up. It's right on the other side of your population, but it just came in. Citrus County, Florida.
And then Rodney had a question. Can you please can you build lists with REsimpli like Deal Machine or XV starting next month? That's part of the next month update. And Jeff had a question. Is that for all versions of REsimpli, Sharad? Yeah. So what you're seeing will be, so anyone that's using Leadzolo, they will get access to everything that basically the speed to lead feature that you're seeing. So everyone will have access to that. So we'll go over that after this call, Cody. Let's go over the exclusive like benefits that they get. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
of course.
Well, let's go through these questions real quick.
Darlene asked if you only had
These are
exclusive
yeah,
leads.
these are all exclusive, Darlene. Like we're not reselling these leads. So as soon as Stratton picks this lead up off the marketplace, we do not sell this to anybody else. This is his lead, and him and Abby and the rest of his team are gonna work the lead.
Yeah.
So as you can see right here in front of your eyes. So yeah, these are exclusive on the marketplace. You can get leads through the priority bidding system that are sent directly to you when as soon as they come in, you have bid on the lead. You said, hey, I want this lead in this area at this price. Boom, it goes straight to you. If we don't have a buyer through that priority bid system, they come over here to the marketplace. So that's what you're seeing right there. So Anthony says Citrus is hot, dude.
Joel said Cricket Wireless again. This guy. Whatever.
Unreal.
This fucking guy.
Unreal.
And for all of those, go ahead.
A bunch of people want your they want your workflow, they want your stuff, and I'm like, hey, you probably can't have it. But I know you do sometimes occasionally offer people to work directly with you. If Jason or any of these people want any of your secret sauce, is that the best way to get in contact with you?
Shoot me a message. We had someone build out our drip campaigns.
Yep.
I spent a couple bucks on it, but it's been worth every penny. Like I sent Shanae some data from last year to where a woman came in, like I want to say in June of last year, and it converted in February from our drip campaigns.
That's crazy.
And it was like we couldn't get a hold of her, and we just kept her on our drip campaign. And then she called us in the middle of the day. Yep. We got her under contract within an hour, and we ended up making like 20 on it.
Wow.
And that was like full send all drip campaigns. And again, she got our emails, so we're in front of her, built the credibility. She got our text messages, and then it slowly just went through. All right, let's see who this person is.
And then for everybody asking about the recording, for everybody who registered, we'll have our marketing team send out the recording to you guys.
And the monthly subscription, which will go up over in a little bit. So anyone that's using Leadzolo could get their REsimpli account for free. So we'll go over that after this call. Cody had the question, will we have more options on email templates for trips, like adding links?
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Hayes, this is Stratton. You reached out to us about this house out in Hermosa. Were you still interested in selling it?
Yeah, I think he has it a little bit away from his mic.
Yeah, we can't hear caller audio, Stratton.
Okay. So you're telling me that your son was willed the house and he's going to will it and he's going to give it to you? Did I hear that right?
No, his stepdad's still alive, but he's older. He's 76, and he's pretty good, healthy guy. I wouldn't want to have to mess with him. But anyhow, and I'm 72, But his stepdad had bought a piece of property next door that somebody had. They pulled an old trailer off, and now they got to go back to all this stuff because the he's on a county road in the city. That's how crazy that is. So he's getting all that stuff worked out to see if we can't get a trailer of a certain size put on there. And I contacted the people, about getting it financed and all, and they go, yeah, we'll do that. And I'm going to put down like 10 grand on it. And then I want to, once it's there, then I don't make a payment for 30 days till after it's set up and checked off.
Okay. And so were you trying to sell us a property, sir?
Yeah, my property here where I'm living at 6880 West Rosedale Drive, Homicide, Florida.
Okay.
Citrus County.
I see. And how much were you looking to walk away with when you sold this one?
Well, I got it. The lady that I bought it from, when I told her what was going on, she came and looked at it. She goes, she's going to list it for 130. And she goes, the lowest she's going to go is 127. It's an old eclectic trailer, was completely redone, solid as a rock. Went through these hurricanes with no problem. I got a big 30 by 30 double garage out back. It's on 0.56 acres. And a couple of pine trees, shade trees, and good neighbors. I'm putting people out. I'm seeing what this is all about, and I'm wanting to know how y'all go about it.
I see. Can I just share with you typically how these calls go with our clients?
Yes.
Awesome. So everybody wants to know how much we can get them, what our process looks like you said, and how long our process is going to take. Am I missing anything?
No, you got it. You answered all my questions so far.
Great. And just in order for us to figure out whether or not we can even help you out or not and buy this thing, I'm going to have to ask you a couple questions. Some of them may even come across as personal. Is that okay?
Yes, I will be, man.
Okay, great. And then by the end of it, my entire goal is to help you reach your goals, and it sounds like moving out of this place. If that means working with us, awesome. If not, that's completely okay too. Can you just do me a favor, and at the end of it, can I just get a yes or a no? Yeses are good. Nos are great too. Maybes is where we always kind of lose the will. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You can just tell me no if it doesn't work. Is that okay?
Okay.
Great. And so, how long have you been thinking about selling this one?
Well, his mom passed away in September 3rd, and I went to in September 20th, I went to my ex-wife's funeral, and her husband, Charlie, my son's stepdad, he showed me the will where he had changed it because it was going to go to her if he died first, and she was going to give it to him. So he told me, he says, Ashley, think about selling your place in Homicide because he's not going to move over there. He's staying here. And I talked with my son about it, and he says, Dad, yeah. And he came over here with the real estate lady that I had bought it from, and she gave me a punch list. And one of the things that I got to do is I have field fencing up front for my dogs with a big gate so the mower guy can get through.
Okay.
And she goes, she would like me to take that down. And I says, really? I says, and she goes, well, it's curb appeal. I says, you know something? I says, what if they got dogs? And
yeah.
I says, so she goes, well, we'll see.
How soon were you looking to sell this one? Like 30 days, 6 months?
The reason why I said September was because in 2 weeks, the survey will be done. And then with that, he goes down and gets the permit, Home Nation, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 900 something square feet, single wide trailer, set up and all that stuff's around 72,000. So I can put down 7,200, 10% and get in.
Okay.
And I got a sister that's well off, so she's going to help me with that. But what I'm just waiting for is everything to come together. And it's probably after this May, if it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 months for them to deliver certain trailers. But I've noticed every month they have certain trailers that they put on sale. So finding the right one for the property, this, that, and other, I'm still up in the air on that.
Okay. So I think what sounds best, whenever we're in a situation like this where a homeowner wants to put it out a couple months, I always just say it's probably best for us to reach out to you every month or so, see how things are going for you, because you never know what's going to happen. There may be more tariffs, the market might crash. There may be more tariffs, the market might go to the moon. You never know. So if I give you an offer today, it won't be the same tomorrow. And so you might as well just wait until September when the time is actually right so we can move forward with you. But until then, we'd love just to keep in contact with you to see if there's any other ways we could help you out.
Okay, let me ask, what was your name again?
Stratton.
Stratton?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Stratton. Do you want to get an email address from me?
I think I have your email, sir. Is it afreckles.ah@gmail.com?
AM Freckles? Yeah.
Yes, sir. And username Ashley?
Yep.
Awesome. What did you have any other questions for me, Ashley?
Do you go by like Zillow or one of the real estate companies? You know how they put what it's worth?
No, they don't know what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, because it's hey, they ain't making no more property. I know that. Unless you go to Dubai, Saudi Arabia. But
Exactly.
I'm on the you know where I'm standing at right now. I'm in that set, waiting for them guys to do it, and then they'll go, okay, go ahead, put down the money. It'll take this long to deliver. And that's probably going to be, I'll probably know that by the middle of May.
Okay.
You know?
Why don't I just give you a call in a couple weeks? And then that way you can know how much you're looking to walk away with, and then we could kind of backtrack from there. Because it does us no good to talk numbers when you don't know what your plan's going to be, you know?
Oh, okay. Well, I was just, wanting to get a ballpark figure, but like you said, the market changes every day.
Yes, sir.
It's just like the mobile home manufacturers. They're having a hard time getting some supplies, but they make these things all over the country. Nation Home is out of Pennsylvania, but they sub out work in other places in Florida, Lake City, and stuff like that, in Melbourne.
And I mean,
but I was just curious to see how y'all go about that. Like if you use Zillow to say, well, it's this much and that much, and
what we want to look at is what other stuff. And I always tell people, we're not a nonprofit, but we want to buy a property where we can make a little bit of money, you can make a little bit of money, and we can both move on. So we got to see what all the other stuff's selling for and see if there's any way we could work together where we're happy and you're happy.
Okay, now let me ask you something. What about closing costs and all that other kind of stuff?
We pay everything. It's all out the door. If it was $1 million house, we offered you $1 million, you'd walk with $1 million.
Okay. Well, do me a favor, Stratton. Shoot me an email, and then when I find out something that's coming up, I can shoot you an email back and say, hey, Stratton, I'm about ready to go.
Awesome. That sounds good, Ashley.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
What a pro.
Thank you.
So much shade for not locking that up, Strat.
Everybody wanted you to try to close them.
Oh, try and close what, bro?
Yeah,
There's nothing there.
The deal's not ready, right?
I am not in the business of throwing out numbers when there's no numbers available, because all we're going to do is we're going to throw that guy a number. He doesn't know what the fuck he's going to do with it. He needs to have concrete. So Abby will call him. She'll nurture it a little bit more. We could go and try and close it right now. But then he's like, well, actually, because like our goal is to go off of how much are they looking to walk away with? Like how much money do they need? If they don't even know, and he's like just kind of like at the beginning, it does us no good to try and go for a hard close when there's nothing to close. But we're still going to call him tomorrow, work him through it, and then still like get him there. But going for a hardcore close right now, I don't think is.
And Yeah, he put on the form, right? He said within 6 months is when he's looking to sell, right? So like, you know, he tells you, right? I know you don't
6
like looking
months.
at
And
that
that's
stuff.
not what I look at. We just want to get them
Yeah.
on the phone. Because
Yeah.
someone may say 6 months, someone may say 30 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just want to hash it out, get on the phone with them and talk to them.
And he said within 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's his timeline. He answered that accurately. They don't always answer it accurately. Brian's right. It is my fault. And and yeah, you gotta close a deal when it's ready to be closed, right? If you try to push you push him away, you give him an offer that he's not ready to hear. He's got to think about it anyway. He's not really ready to make a move. You're gonna burn that opportunity. And so
The
now
only
you keep
reason
getting
these
pipe-
people are ever going to talk to you is to hear your offer.
Yep.
As soon as they hear your offer, they're never going to talk to you again
They're
if they
done.
don't like it and you don't close it immediately. So that's just our philosophy, to where when we do feel like, okay, we can push it over a little bit, then we'll go. But he's saying a realtor wants to list it for 137. All right, so like that price point isn't quite there. How much do you actually need? It's like, I don't know. I think I need to be on at 70. I need $7,000. Blah, blah, blah. But he still wants to wait a little bit. So there's no need for us, in my opinion, to do that.
Let's get to the juice. Let's get to the incentives, guys.
Yep. So we've got some incentives for you guys. I know that there's a lot of questions unanswered. I would love to be able to sit here and answer them all with y'all. I appreciate all the interest here. I'm honored. I'm going to get straight to it. So obviously y'all saw a little bit of kind of how it works. You know, those of you who are not using Leadzolo yet and you want to, there's an easy way to get started, right? So you can set up a free marketplace only account. You can do what Stratton was just doing literally within seconds, and you can call sellers. And if you have REsimpli, then you're really set up, right? The priority bidding system is how you can have predictable lead flow with Leadzolo. Marketplace, as you saw, we are at the mercy of where we did not have buyers and bidders already. So it's like, okay, you know, Citrus County, we talked to Ashley over here, you know, we talked to, and so if you want predictable lead flow, because you all probably have markets that you're like, I'm the king and queen over here in my market, and I want to just get leads in these areas, these states, these counties, right? So if you want to get access to the priority bidding system, grab a spot on that link and you can get up to $1,000 in free Leadzolo lead credits. Now you have to put an initial deposit on to do that. And so go and talk to my team, make sure that it makes sense, right? My team is equipped to answer all of your questions. How are the leads generated? What's our return policy? How does the platform work, et cetera, et cetera. So for every $2,500 that you deposit on your Leadzolo account, you will get $500 in lead credits. So that can double and triple and quadruple up. So for every $2,500 that you put on as an initial deposit, then we will give you $500 in lead credits. So you can 5K, 1K, 7,500, 1,500, 10K, 2K. At the the lowest point that incentive comes into play is 2,505. If you're already on Leadzolo, if you're already using us, I am going to do something that I don't normally do, and I'm going to allow you guys to take advantage of this incentive again. If you've already done it, great. If you have not, then that is okay. Yeah, if you want to get signed up, if you want to put that initial deposit down on Leadzolo to get into the priority bidding system, that is our offer for you.
Rod, you want to bring it home with what
Yes.
our end?
Yeah. So anyone that is using Leadzolo, whatever amount you're spending on Leadzolo, you'll get basically 10% of that towards your REsimpli account. So if you're spending $5,000 a month and you are on a pro plan, enterprise plan, you basically end up getting that for free. You get that every 3 months. So you have to be on Leadzolo and REsimpli for 3 months. So every 3 months, you'll get that money credited to your account. So if you're on, let's say, pro plan, you pay us $500 a month, and you're spending $5,000 with Leadzolo, that you will get that $1,500 credited back to your account every 3 months. So if you're using Leadzolo, and then you also get the features that we went over. So if you're on basic plan or pro plan, you also get a speed to lead feature included for free of cost. You don't have to pay anything. Just reach out to us. Once you set up your Leadzolo account, reach out to us and we'll get that taken care of for you. Yeah. So you basically you use Leadzolo, you get basically your REsimpli account for free of cost.
With offering that incentive to you guys, Sharad made it a very interesting choice. He passed the savings along to you guys. Sharad made a decision, you guys, to pass the savings and incentives along to you all. If you spend money with Leadzolo, he's passing that savings on to you guys. Instead of collecting, affiliate commissions, he passed those on to you guys. So you guys can get an incentive and use REsimpli because he sees the power of having leads and having a really good system that he's built. I'm floored at what you guys have built, and I'm continue to be shocked at just how good of a CRM this is. Because like Shanae introduced, like my background is running sales teams. I have run sales teams for 10 plus years. It's all I've really done in my professional career has been in sales and run remote sales teams. And so when I look at a CRM like REsimpli, I get really, really excited because I speak CRM fluently. I've used just about every major CRM. And the system that you guys have built for real estate investors is second to none. It is the best.
Thank you.
It's not even a question based on what I've seen.
Yeah, it's only going to get better next month.
Continue to make it better.
Yeah. And then, so anyone that we work with, guys, so any, partner that we bring on, like we don't take any kickback from anyone. So we always say, okay, whatever you were going to give us, give it back to our end customer because we want to add value. So in this case, basically whatever money you spend, so 10% of that, you get back that. So you basically were applying it towards your REsimpli account. So you get that, you sign up for that. If you're using Leadzolo and you're using REsimpli, you get, the incentive that Cody offered. You get for every $2,500, you get 20% on the initial deposit that you get credited back to your account. And it also is available for existing customers. So Thank you for doing that, Cody. And then once you're spending money, so any money that you're spending with Leadzolo, 10% of that goes towards your REsimpli account. So you basically, if you're really using Leadzolo consistently, you end up getting your free REsimpli account. And it's for every account, basic, pro, enterprise. Every account, doesn't matter what plan you're on, every account gets access to that as long as you're using Leadzolo.
Well, I think it's Hillary. She asked if you already have REsimpli. Yes, if you already have REsimpli and you get hooked up with the Leadzolo account, then yes, we will credit it back to the REsimpli account.
Yeah, I'm going to drop the link again. So you just sign up with that link and then sign up, and then we'll work on that on the back. And just make sure, you're using the same email address. For some reason, using different email address, just reach out to us so we can apply that to your discount to your account.
My team knows to take care of you guys. The team that you talk to on the Leadzolo side is not there to sell you on anything. They're there to answer your questions and make sure this is the right decision for you guys. And they will be aware of that. So one more time, and then I'll pass it over to you again, Sharad, just to make sure everybody's clear. I already see a few of y'all booking in calls through the link that I dropped, so I appreciate you. So for every $2,500 that you all deposit on your Leadzolo wallet, right? The way that it works, you get signed up for the priority bidding system, you deposit funds onto a wallet. Every $2,500, it's basically 20% we are giving you in lead credits, right? So it's $500 every $2,500 that you deposit. So if you do 2,500, you get 500. If you do 5,000, you get 1,000, so on and so forth. So that's the incentive on the Leadzolo side. And then what Sharad and them are doing is that they are passing the incentive on to you guys. So if you guys are using Leadzolo and spending on Leadzolo for 3 months, you guys are on REsimpli and Leadzolo for 3 months, then you guys are going to be up to 10% of your monthly off of REsimpli. So Sharad, if you fill in any of the gaps.
Yeah. So let's say if you're on basic plan, which on your monthly plan, you pay, $200 a month, and you spend with Leadzolo, you spend $2,000 a month. So basically we take the 10% of what you're spending at Leadzolo, $200 every month, and we apply it towards your REsimpli account. So you basically get your account for free. The more money you spend, the higher plan you're on. So it can end up being a free, or whatever you're spending, you get 10% of that applied towards your REsimpli account as a discount.
And for the speed to lead feature,
yes,
that's not automated. You guys are going to need to reach out.
Yes. Yeah. So just reach out to us once you've signed up for Leadzolo and REsimpli. Reach out to us, and we'll apply it to your account. Cool. Yeah. And then the discount that Cody offered, the discount that we're offering, it applies to new and existing users also. Yep. So that was very generous of Cody to go back and apply that discount to existing users also.
Yep. And Pam, your question around only when you sign up, that's a welcome offer, right? So that's an initial deposit incentive. So the first time you sign up, that's usually when that incentive's offered. But for you guys, if you're already using Leadzolo, I'm going to offer it to y'all again. So if y'all book a call through that link, go and talk to the team, say, hey, I'm already using it, just wanted to get access to the REsimpli Leadzolo incentive. So book a call if you haven't already, and we will offer that to you all as well. So Angela, that's every $2,500. So that stacks. So if you get on my team and you say, hey, I'm going to put 10K and load that into my Leadzolo wallet, we will give you $2,000 in lead credits as a part of that.
How long are you going to offer this for, Cody, so people know, get on the stick?
I'm seeing a bunch of y'all book calls. It's a great question. I didn't have a deadline in mind. So if y'all come through this link and you tell my team that you're from the webinar, I'm going to offer you the incentive. We're going to honor the incentive.
Yeah, and we'll do the same thing on our end. So as long as you are using Leadzolo and then you're using REsimpli, you'll get 10% applied towards your REsimpli account, 10% of what you're spending at Leadzolo. So which could basically mean you get a free REsimpli account.
And Darlene, yes, we do have free trials. If you sign up for a monthly plan, your free trial is 2 weeks. You sign up for an annual plan, your free trial is for 30 days.
Yeah, and if any of you guys want to book a demo, I'm going to drop a link to our demo page right here. We just hired a new person literally today to start doing demos for us full time. So you should start doing that.
Oh, that's awesome. Team's growing.
Yeah,
team's growing. Yeah, Shanae used to be, it was funny that up until a month or two ago, Shanae was our only W2 employee and only white person in our entire team. Yeah, that's funny.
I'm still the only white woman though. So.
Yeah, she's still the only white team.
Hold it down, Shanae.
How's that feel? You know, you turn around the.
Gotta represent, y'all.
Hold
Gotta
it down,
represent.
Shanae. Hold it down.
She's on the other foot now. Okay.
Yeah.
Stratton, I know that a lot of y'all are asking like, hey, how do we get in contact with Stratton? These freaking drip campaigns. This guy's a genius when it comes to getting on the phone and talking to sellers. I know you dropped your phone number. What's the best, like, you're going to get a
or if you have me on Instagram, you can send me a DM.
Okay.
Shoot me a text and I will get back to you within the next 24 hours. If you're serious, I don't care if you double text me. I promise you I'll get back to you.
Triple text him, guys.
Triple text
him to make sure he picks up.
Use his own strategies against him. I'm going to drop your Instagram. Yeah.
I just did. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Reach out to Strat. He's
Jeff, you cannot leave me a voicemail. I'm not going to read it.
He won't check it. He's not checking it.
Oh, that's
and Jeff and Pam, you guys were asking 10% of monthly spend at Leadzolo applied to REsimpli. Yes, that is correct. So, yep.
And Stratton dropped his cell phone number also, so start triple dialing it.
Brave for putting that in there, Strat.
I mean, but like, if you want people to interface with you, you might as well give them your cell phone. The easiest way to
make it easy, man. Make
That's
it
true.
easy.
I know.
Jeff says Hell Week's on the way.
Hell Week is on the way. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
We got anything else for the crew? I appreciate all y'all spending your Thursday afternoon here. Thank you, Stratton. Thank you, Sherrod and Shanae, for putting this together. This was really, really fun.
Yeah, this was good. Yeah, if you guys, so anyone that's using REsimpli and Leadzolo, just reach out to our support team. Tell them that you are using Leadzolo, and then we'll get speed to lead added to your account. Thank you, Cody. Thank you,
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great rest of the week.